Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the Iraq War, which lasted from 2003 to 2011. This conflict reshaped not only Iraq, but also U.S. foreign policy and the Middle East. Let's look at how it all unfolded. Background and causes. The roots of the Iraq War started with Saddam Hussein's brutal regime. He had been in power since the late 1970s, ruling Iraq through fear, violence, and military control. After the Gulf War in 1991, Iraq faced strict UN sanctions and weapons inspections, but Saddam often refused to fully cooperate. These post-Gulf War tensions set the stage. Then, following the attacks on 9/11, the US government claimed that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, WMDs, and that Saddam might use them or share them with terrorists. These claims, which were later proven false, became the main reason for the US for going into war. In March 2003, the US and its allies launched a full invasion scale of Iraq. The mission was to remove Saddam Hussein from power and to eliminate those supposed weapons. Baghdad fell in April 2003 after a brief but intense campaign.
One last summit, an ultimatum was given.
Saddam Hussein and his sons must leave Iraq within 48 hours. Their refusal to do so will result in military conflict.
The conflict was over quickly, or so it seemed. Then came the aftermath. It started with looting. It quickly became an organized insurgency. Saddam Hussein was captured and executed.
After Saddam was gone, Iraq didn't stabilize. In fact, things got worse. With no real government in place, the country fell deep into sectarian violence. Sunni and Shia Muslims, who had long-standing tensions, began turning on each other. This escalated into a brutal civil war, with frequent bombings and killings. On top of that, an insurgency began targeting U.S. troops and any rebuilding efforts. The U.S. tried to support new political institutions and train security forces, but it was a long, dangerous process. In 2007, the U.S. launched what became known as the Surge, a strategy that sent in thousands of more troops to reduce violence and give the Iraqi government room to get organized. It did lead to fewer attacks for a while, but it didn't fully solve the country's deeper issues. Eventually, in 2011, the U.S. withdrew all its combat troops. That marks the end of the official war from the American side. The long-term effects of the war were and still are devastating. Iraq has faced years of instability since then. In the chaos that followed the U.S. withdrawal, terrorist groups like the ISIS were able to rise. The most controversial part of the whole war? No WMDs were ever found. The central reason for the invasion turned out to be false, and that raised serious questions about whether the war was justified at all. Altogether, the Iraq War caused massive human and economic loss. Over 4,000 U.S. troops were killed, and estimates say hundreds of thousands of Iraqis died. The war destroyed homes, split communities, and reshaped global politics. It started with promises of security and democracy, but what was left behind was far more complicated.